Hey guys,
Hey, we're live.
We are
welcome
indeed.
to the Virtually Rek't Podcast. Today we have some very special guests, Mac in VR and Power on VR. How you doing, guys?
We're very well, thank you.
Good.
Excellent, excellent. So let's begin with what have you been playing and what are you drinking in whichever order you would like to give it to us, Mr. Mac in VR.
Right, this week I've been playing Hubris, or trying to play Hubris. We'll talk about that later. I've played the Peaky Blinders extended demo, which I would like to talk about. We played a bit of Among Us in the live stream on Thursday, which was absolutely hilarious. And Walking Dead Retribution. So, and I am drinking today. I'm drinking a Sainsbury's House Pinot Grigio because it's Christmas and I'm skint.
Nice.
Shuey, what are you drinking and what have you been playing?
Okay, so I am on my typical Brewdog type jobbies again, as I usually am. So I'm on the Lord of the Rings again. I'm having a little bit of Galadriel's juice. And I am on the fake Brewdog Ald IPA. Their nice little piss take. What have I been playing this week? Okay, so yeah, same as you, Mac. I did try out a little bit of Hubris, which we will talk about later because I'm not amazingly happy so far, which is a big disappointment. Anyway, ignoring that, what I've been playing most of has actually been In Death Unchained. I have been slightly obsessed with that. I genuinely hadn't really played about or done anything with it until this week, and I think I'm now in the top 2,000 players, and that's only after like 4 or 5 hours. So yeah, no, I'm going to be smashing a lot more of that going forwards.
It's so good, isn't it? It
is.
I haven't played it for such a long time, but it was Rob and Jay that got me back into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Serge, what are you drinking? What are you playing, buddy?
A house special, Buxton. I made from other bottles. It says that's how special it is. So
that's not even Buxton water.
It's
That's
tap
just
water.
tap water you put in a Buxton bottle.
Yeah, look, check it out. The lid. There you go.
I mean, that's a special kind of special, isn't it?
That is. What have I been playing? Loads of different things. So, since last time, I have played Buccaneers, which had a lot more in it than I thought it would. So I did enjoy that. Combat Troops, which is kind of like Zero Caliber, but it had some issues, but they're working on it. They've given me some keys. They've changed that. I'll talk about it a bit later on, but they've updated stuff and they're fixing it a bit more. I played like the craziest racing game ever. It's called 22 Racing Series, and you go like over 1,000 kilometers an hour through like a fucking tube, and that was mental. I've never smiled.
I was watching your live stream of it.
Yeah, you were it. Yeah. Everyone just said
it's like Wipeout in VR. That's the one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I was just smiling the whole time. And I'm itching to go back into that because I was doing that speed and I wasn't even upgrading anything. It was just mental. A lot of people said they wouldn't be able to handle it, which I get because it is pretty fast in VR. But yeah, it's brilliant. And Swordsman VR, I gave that a go as well. That was good fun. Played that for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I've got a key for that and I haven't actually played it yet.
Yeah,
I actually quite like it.
Yeah, it's a decent game. It's good. They've added like a boss weapon update, so there's loads to do in it, and I ended up playing for like 2.5 hours, and I was knackered at the end of it, but it was a good workout, a really good workout. Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
So Swordsman, I found that I enjoyed myself. It's a good game, and I like what they've done. The problem is I'm too used to playing Blade and Sorcery.
Yeah,
and that is what Blade and Sorcery does compared to Swordsman is it removes the requirement for you to be more strategic and sort of makes it more fun because you can just do cool shit without having to actually think about it.
Yeah.
And Swordsman really does make you think. I found it made me really have to think about the game. So it depends on what sort of game you want for sword fighting, I guess, as to which one you choose out of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have Blade and Sorcery, to be honest. I think I did play it once. Yeah. I don't own it, though.
I've got it on my Pico, I think. It is good fun. I can see the... I want full body tracking so I can kick people in the face.
Are you not getting those trackers and stuff, or what are you doing?
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
There is some new trackers that are being made by Sony, aren't there? So we should...
Mocapi?
I actually need to look this up because I've seen, but I haven't actually read about any of these.
All right, okay, I did. So basically, Sony are making these full body tracking things for their AR stuff. It's not specifically for VR, but apparently it is compatible with Quest and obviously other VR headsets. So they're quite cheap, and it's going to give you the ability to do like full body tracking in stuff like VR chat, Pistol Whip if you're using avatars, Beat Saber if you use avatars. So, yeah.
Hang on, why is there a head tracker?
Oh, it's if you actually watched the video of the advertisement, it's for augmented reality video. So basically, you can put you can wear these mocap things and then walk around outside. And then you can impose your avatar on the motion capture, but they just happen to be compatible as well with Quest and stuff like that. So
awesome.
Yeah, it looks really
I want to
good.
kick some guys in the face. That's all I want. Is to be able to kick people in the face. Like I've been wanting this for so long. Because
imagine imagine a karate game where you actually
I'm thinking more like Blade and Sorcery. Like there's a kick button on Blade and Sorcery, but honestly, like you go to kick them and you like kick them in the chest or something, and you're just like, I want to kick them in the face or in the balls. Like that's the two spots, or in the arse occasionally. Like they're the three places that I want to kick someone. And if I can snap their knee, then maybe kick them in the knee. But there isn't really an option for that in Blade and Sorcery.
Some elbows, elbows maybe. Some headbutts. People telling me to try do headbutts in.
I didn't know about headbutting.
Yeah.
I never really considered it, and then I tried it on Blade and Sorcery a couple of weeks back, and I was just like, "Yes, this is amazing."
I tried it in Swordsman. I don't think it worked. Maybe it wasn't trying hard
that's
enough.
Disappointing. Because they've added punches now in Swordsman, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah, they have. Yeah. You haven't tried that. I think you'd have to wait for like face tracking to be able to do things like bite people's noses off and take it to the next level.
Well, they've got that, if they can track your sort of smile and speech and everything, then there's no reason they can't sort of track you biting into somebody's face.
I think, man, I think that'd be great. That'd be a great game.
With a nice Chianti.
No, it's where you play as the zombies rather than like the heroes in After the Fall and stuff, where you can actually go up. That would actually be amazing. Like in Left 4 Dead, you had the ability to play as like the zombies, didn't you?
You did, yeah.
And that would be really good to be able to like walk up behind someone and just go and start nomming down on their neck. That would be pretty sweet.
How about Walking Dead multiplayer, where you could play as a zombie and go into somebody's game and they wouldn't know that you were like in Sniper Elite 5, you can actually invade somebody's game and they don't know you're not an NPC.
Yeah.
So imagine that.
That's pretty cool.
If you could play as a zombie and then like creep up behind somebody and like, yeah, that would be cool.
Have you got Sniper Elite 5?
I like that.
I have, yeah. I've got it on the game.
Oh, we need to play, mate. We need to play. I bought it for like 40 whatever quid it was when it came out to play with Fire, but he's been a bit elusive, so I'm up for playing that.
Yeah, it's
What
pretty good.
What game's that?
Sniper
Elite 5 flat screen though.
I think I have that.
I've got it on Game Pass, so actually it's really funny because yesterday with this whole hubris debacle, I decided to play a bit of Halo, just like to sort of get a bit of context, because when I played the demo of Hubris, I thought it's quite sort of Halo-esque. So I fired up Halo Infinite on my Game Pass on the flat screen. Played it on my computer. Ended up playing for 5 hours. Didn't get anything done with Hubris because I was just like, this is so good.
Yeah, the Halo. I did love doing the campaign. The new Halo is brilliant,
it's
mate.
so good.
I love that.
Should we give a shout out to our chat?
Yeah. I was just going to do that. Go.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got Sim, Weeble, Moby, Daysnetic. Ran into Daysnetic on Saturday at the Retro Computer Museum. Nice to see him again. He did a very nice thing for Paradise Decay, which I'd like to talk about once we've done the shout out. We've got RJ, AppJ, Fluke, who I also met at the Retro Computer Museum. Fitz, Walking Dead. We've got Weeble. That's about it. Sim, yeah, Sim's here. Okay, that's my shout outs.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. There's a couple of your guys over here with me, including Assassin 32 and Endgend XS. Hey guys, and
Rob's
obviously
here. Silent Rob.
Yeah, Silent Rob's over in Indie's chat by the look of things.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got call the tangent. Hey doing, buddy? Got Quigley Games or Scott-Man. Got Silver Tongue Devil, who's saying that we should be the alien and bite people's noses off. There you go.
Oh yeah, if you could be the alien, that would be amazing. Look,
sorry guys, I know you say always take it down to a lower level, but can you imagine like a porno game with the face tracking where you're giving...
I've just had the best idea, but yes, yeah. Mine is in the same vein as yours, but kind of more fucked up.
Go for it, because I didn't even say.
Only been going for 12 minutes and it's already hit rock bottom.
Okay, I need to stand up for this, and it's going to be the most embarrassing thing that I've ever done. Okay, so right, let's start seated. So, not just that you're the alien. Imagine if you're the the fucking face hugger, right?
Oh,
yes. you need the full body tracking, because then you can go like you grab onto them and just start like give them the old face full of alien wingwog.
And then if you had a tongue tracker, you'd be like down the mouth.
Yeah, but
I was using a different part of my body to enter their mouth, but yes.
Dick tracker.
Listen,
maybe they should call it Modicky.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I coined a new term the other day. I was streaming. I was talking to Face, and he was saying, "Oh, I've got the peak, not Face, Crash. I've got the Pico," and he's been enjoying the pass through. And then I said to him, "Have you tried out pass through masturbation yet?" And he goes, "No, but I'm gonna try that out." I'm sure someone's tried it. Let us know in the comments, or at least in my comments.
Oh, I tell you, with the Pico, with the pass through, things that are really close to you look massive. So pass through masturbation is going to be amazing, because it's just going to be like, woo-hoo-hoo!
Exactly.
Look at the size of that. Right. Okay. 14 minutes and we hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, no more.
I don't know where we go from here.
I'd like to give a shout out to Paradise Decay. So I was supposed to meet Paradise on Saturday down at the Retro Computer Museum in Leicester. But he had to have an emergency cataract operation. So Daysnetic, who's in my chat, very kindly drove him to the hospital, waited with him while he got his operation, and then drove him back home. And then actually drove all the way up to Leicester from Doncaster to meet up. So get well soon, Paradise Decay. And Daysnetic, you're a good friend. So I'd just like to say that.
Yeah, get well soon, PD. And
get well soon, PD.
Yeah, get better, man.
Yeah, he's usually in chat, but he's not here today. So I don't know whether that's to do with how he's feeling. So
okay, so I would actually, because we were just on the subject, and I would just like, because I saw something that I would like to quickly discuss. I saw something on Reddit the other day, and it was someone advertising their VR game.
Mm-hmm.
And this VR game is a, for lack of a better term, it is a porn game, right? However, I don't know. Oh, what are the products called? I can't remember what they're called now.
Teledildonics? No.
Yeah, no, it is Teledildonics, right? But there's a specific company. There's a specific company that produce
Love Sense? Lovence?
Lovence, yes. Lovence, right?
I've got a few of those. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So there is a specific game that now has complete compatibility with their entire library, right?
Oh,
to the point where
fantastic.
you can now, right? So for those of you who don't know what Lovence is, it's like a fully Bluetooth straight to your phone, can work over the internet sex toy. Okay, for lack of a better term, sex toy. And they could be male, female, non-binary. There's a whole host of different things to use. But this game, what it actually does is not only is it compatible with the entire library of toys that this company make, but you can actually individually map those toys to different parts of the avatars for like you and the partner that you're in, because it's a social game. It's not you're not playing PvE. You're actually playing with other people. It's essentially like, I don't know, Habbo Hotel for sex. It's but yeah, no, I thought it was just an interesting thing. Like, we are moving to the point now where we are actually adding all of these things that we were laughing about with Teledildonics and things last year.
Not long ago. Yeah.
Like, this is a real thing now. Like, these toys are not cheap either. They're like hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So yeah, no, I just thought it was an interesting thing to see that there is an actual genuine social game being produced right now that involves Teledildonics.
Well, I
Walking
think
Dead says you need to post the link to the page now, because I think he's going to go do some shopping.
I'll find the Reddit page.
I'll tell you what, guys.
Sorry, Serge, I cut you off there, mate.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say we should do a live stream of that. That'd be great.
Just me and you sat there going,
I am not doing that with you guys.
Come on,
Hey, I'll tell you
Crash
what.
will get involved.
Sir, you said with that thumbnail for your video, which I'd like to say has done over 133,000 views in less than 2 weeks. So
152,000
Nice.
views.
wow. It was 133 when I looked. Wow. So anybody that's wondering, Shuey was asking us about this thumbnail he was doing for a video. Go and check his channel.
Yeah.
And basically, there was we were searching for this one particular image, and in the end, we settled on the girl leaning forward with the boobs hanging out. We were like, sex sells, and he posted a video, and like you said, it's done like 152,000 views in like less than 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So all of my thumbnails now are gonna have boobs on them.
That's a bit
pair of boobs.
sexist. Why is it just boobs and not man parts?
152.
What part of a man?
152.
What part of a man can you stick on a thumbnail that is sexy enough to sell? Indy.
So
The back end of the nutsack. There you go.
it's going back to Red Dwarf again, isn't it? It's going back to Red Dwarf, and that's what you decided on. The last chicken in the shop look. Oh my god! 18 minutes in, and we have hit rock bottom.
Well, I just want to say to Silver Tongue that, you see, it's not me that does this. They blamed me for this. It's actually them that started it.
Oh, thanks, Walking Dead. I appreciate it, man. I spent like 20 or something hours editing that video.
Yeah,
It must take
great
bloody
video, man.
ages.
It went down really well. I got a lot of flack for it as well, but you know,
What was
as
it
they
black
say,
for?
the flack, because people weren't happy that I was like, oh, by the way, there's backroom chatter about this game. Like, I can't show you the actual footage because it doesn't fucking exist. And they were like, well, this is obviously a garbage video then. It's like,
What
okay
the fuck
then.
do they want? A fucking hand puppet show? Like, just what the fuck?
No, they wanted me basically to go frame by frame, cel-shaded animation of what I think the game would be. And,
now.
like, spent a month creating just this 30-second clip for them to be like, yeah, that could be Asgard's Wrath.
See, what people need to understand is that, like, as content creators, you get approached by devs, and then you're under NDA for quite a lot of the stuff that they want you to look at, because they basically want you to. You're basically a free in-house tester for their game. So they shoot you the game, you have a look at it, and then you give them feedback. But they're giving you access, but they're also saying, please don't reveal anything to the public. So you can say this game is coming, but I can't tell you about it because I'm under NDA. But obviously this is the internet and people aren't sane on the internet.
Yeah, well, if you're watching this podcast, that proves that people aren't sane.
But or something just said he wants to be a free product consultant. Nice try, mate. We'll try. We'll get you a link.
But yeah, no, that video was a real mixed bag to the point where I couldn't actually be bothered to try and respond to all of the people, which it sounds really horrible, but it got to the point where I was replying to people that weren't being dicks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should probably reply to the people being dicks because that's only fair. And then I was just like, do you know what's also fair? Not replying to anyone.
See, it's the problem is that sometimes you put a video up and then you wake up the next morning and you've got like 50 comments. And I mean, I do genuinely look at all the comments on my videos and I don't respond to every single one, though I do try and like every single one. But like you said, sometimes it's just overwhelming. If you've got a video that goes viral, like the one that Shuey did, you can get hundreds of comments in a day. And it's just, it is impossible to keep up sometimes. It's just one of those things. So if people comment on your video and you think we're being ignorant because we haven't responded, it's purely and simply because you get a lot of comments every single day, and sometimes you can't respond to all of them. Sorry, that's just
it's
first
true.
world problem for the content creator.
Do you know what? I cannot find that Reddit post, which is really going to piss me off. So yeah, that if I come across it again, I'll post the link in the Discord or something. Right. So, what's the first real topic of tonight we would like to discuss?
Right, I've got a list. Can we talk about VR Realm?
Let's start off on the sad stuff. Because this is a sad topic, unfortunately.
It is. So one of the guys we've had on the podcast is Paul from the VR Realm. Nice guy. He only ever appears as an avatar in his videos. He does podcasts. He does a lot of stuff in Neos and stuff like that. And so basically what happened was a couple of weeks ago, I went to your favorite content creators. You sometimes miss notifications. So I went to check up on his channel to see what had been happening. And I couldn't find him. So I messaged him on Twitter and said, right, Paul, what's happening with your channel? And he's like, oh, I've been banned. So I was like, you what? He's like, yeah, I've been banned for posting sexual content. Now, anybody that knows Paul knows that he's one of the nicest guys you could meet. And all of his stuff is done with his avatar. So the chances of him posting sexual content is fucking zero, basically. And unfortunately, it turns out that YouTube is as bad as Facebook customer services. So what do you think of that, Serge? Because obviously you were on the podcast, weren't you, with him?
Yeah, I've been on his podcast. He's been on my podcast. We've been on this podcast. I spent loads of hours with him in Neos doing stuff with him. It really helped me build my world and just do a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think it's a joke. I think it's another bot thing, isn't it? It's just like And then he went through. They said, right, we can't do anything. And then I think on Twitter, people were atting YouTube about the situation, and I think someone else said they're going to look into it again. But yeah, I don't think they give you feedback on what it was or anything like that. Because I know, did you for your Facebook ban? Did they give you the feedback about the kidney thing, or did you find that out yourself?
No, what happened was I got banned, and they said that's it, your account's done. So I appealed it, and they said, right, we're looking into it. And then literally 5 weeks later, I got my account back after trying everything that I possibly could under the sun. And then they don't tell you directly why you've been banned, but you have to go through layers and layers. You have to literally click on layers and layers and layers to get to the reason. The reason was because I posted sell a kidney on a friend's post. I eventually found that out, which was stunning to me because, it was just an offhand comment. and I've made much worse offhand comments than that particular one. So whether somebody said something in the chat that the bot picked up, or is, you know, if you've got two-factor authentication on your account, you shouldn't get hacked. So I'm really at a loss.
Yeah, because that's what I thought as well. I thought maybe someone reported his video specifically for sexual content or something like that. That someone was
That's my guess so far.
Yeah, that's my guess. Yeah, somebody's been spiteful. Yeah.
Basically, there is a metric fuck ton of bigoted pricks out there that, because obviously, like Paul, he uses like a furry avatar, and there'll be people out there that, same with like the I'm not going to go into too much politics, but there is plenty of people in the US, for instance, I'm not going to name which particular group, even though it should be pretty obvious, that literally say that if you're gay, you may as well be a pedophile, right? That you are essentially a pedophile. That's insane. And they consider the same for furries as well, and people that even use like furry avatars or anthropomorphized animal avatars. Instantly, you must just be part of the LGBTQ, agenda crap. I'm not saying the LGBT stuff is crap. Like I'm part of that, but I'm saying that these people they are bigoted enough that they will jump on that bandwagon. They will report people just for using an avatar like that, and that's pretty shitty. And that's what I'm betting has happened.
Yeah, I'm guessing so as well. I mean, people should be allowed to believe what they think. They should be allowed to do what they think, what they want to do. I'm all for openness. I'm all for anybody just be yourself. I mean, I'm a 55-year-old guy. I've got some weird views. My views don't hurt anybody. I'm an atheist. I'm heterosexual. I'm white. That puts me in a group straight away. But I just don't understand this thing about trying to impose your beliefs on somebody else. I just don't care. If Paul is gay, if he's not gay, if he's LGBTQ, I just don't care. I met the fella. I like him. And that is my metric. If I meet you and I like you, then I don't care what you are. If I meet you and I don't like you.
Yeah, I follow the Billy Butcher method of working out people. Just, try your best not to be a cunt. Like, it's simple, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's on my Discord channel, on the welcome to the Discord channel, it says, I've got one rule, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
If you post something and you think it's going to offend somebody, just don't post it. Just don't post it. I'm so frustrated because, I mean, what's happening to him? It happened to me like 6 months. Actually longer than that, about 8 months ago. And you just suddenly feel like you've been eviscerated. You have no power. All of a sudden, this big company that allowed you to use their platform free has just said, "Nah, that's it, done." I think Paul's on about 3,000 subs, 2,500.
2.5-ish, yeah, 2.5-ish. Yeah. He worked his ass off to bring out content all the time to get to that point.
I mean, Indie knows. Indie's on 600 plus. Shuey's on 5,000 plus. I'm on 13,000 plus. It's fucking hard work to get subs, especially in a niche market like the VR market. And for a big company to just go, nah, that's it, done. What would happen to Gamertag? What would happen to Beardo? These guys aren't, they haven't got 100,000 subs. They're not verified yet, so they don't have that protection, as it were. So what would happen to Gamertag if that happened to him? What happened to Beardo? These are like big YouTubers. It just seems crazy that it could happen to us. It could happen to Serge. It could happen to Shuey.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's on. So basically, for now, he's going to be on Twitch. So he's streaming on Twitch. I'm going to share his link in my chat, so everyone go follow him if you're watching.
Yeah. So if
there you go. Do you want to drop it in yours as well, guys?
I will. Yeah, as soon as you've done
Okay,
that.
Yeah, I will do.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
So if you can,
yeah.
go and follow him, help him out because it's fucking awful what's happened to him.
Yeah, he's like he's a top guy. He helped me out so much with my Neos and my podcasting stuff and my studio building, and like he did most of the work. So he's really been a really good friend, and I've toured with him as well, Neos, and it's just crazy.
It is. I mean, he sometimes drops into the podcast, so
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him yet. Hey, Cactus, how you doing, mate? Well,
hopefully
I mean,
he gets it sorted.
Yeah, I've been on the other end of this, and it is absolutely devastating, and it affects your mental health. I mean, what happened to me? Going back to me again, me. I retired on the Thursday and went full time on YouTube on the Monday, and got banned on the Tuesday from my Facebook account, which means I lost my Quest. To actually lose your channel, but are they looking at his appeal again? I think they are, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so like on Twitter they said they'll look back into it because he didn't get a reason, just sexual content, and it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah. So what happened was, I mean, it went mad on Twitter. That post on Twitter that he put up, I think we all retweeted it, and a lot of big YouTubers picked up on it as well. So yeah, hopefully he gets his channel back. I mean, hopefully we all played a small part in that. It's just awful. So when he gets his channel back, we'll get him back on the show, and we'll talk about how it affected him, because such a nice guy, and for that to happen, it's awful.
Yep. We'll just see what happens, and we'll just we'll have to go from there, man. It's just stupid. So
it's absolutely crazy. Right. So that's the horrible stuff. Anybody want to talk about something
Less horrible?
Less horrible. I mean, I don't need to demean what's happening to VR Realm, but we do need to move on. So
yeah, no, it was a shit thing that happened. Hopefully it's going to be sorted properly, and fuck the people that have fucked him over. Simple as, really.
Yeah, exactly. So VR Realm, if you're watching, we're there for you, mate.
Yeah, dude. Right, so on to more fun matters, I guess. What we got on the list, on the listicles?
Walking Dead, I guess. The new Walking Dead.
Yeah, okay.
Just before we jump into Walking Dead too far, then I need to put a preface on this. I have not played it, and I'm not going to.
Oh, that's interesting.
I refuse to play this on Quest 2.
All right, I see.
I'm sorry, I absolutely refuse to play this on Quest 2. I am very upset that the PC VR version did not launch at the same time. I understand there are problems with that. I understand that if you have to choose one particular device or store that you probably want to release on, yeah, fair enough. The likelihood is you probably should release on Quest. But I've been watching people stream it, and honestly, it looks really, really washed out. And I just don't want to play it like that. I want to play it like I experienced the first one, and if I have to wait 6 months in order for that to happen, so be it. So that's where I'm at.
It's out in March, I think.
Yeah,
February. Sorry, go back.
I have played it. I was shocked at how bad it was.
Really?
So to put this into context, right? I played the PC VR version. Well, actually, it was the Oculus PC VR version. I finished the game. I did multiple playthroughs, and I played up to day 52 just because I was enjoying myself. You know, I had plenty of resources. I would go out and I would just mess with the zombies. I've done loads of videos on Walking Dead. I played the Quest 2 version of the original, and it was okay. You know, there's obviously a visual downgrade. So I think the problem with this one is it's more ambitious. And when I fired it up, I was like, seriously? It doesn't look great. I actually think the first one looks better on Quest 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I think the levels are bigger and there's more verticality, and there's more going on. So they've had to bring that level down a bit. So I think the first one actually looks better. Oh, it's so difficult without actually playing them back to back. But my first impression was when I started the game, I was like, this isn't good. Oh, look, when using the chat.
Wen. Hey, Wen.
How you doing? How you doing, mate?
Hey, Wen.
Thanks for the free wine.
How you doing, Wen?
So, for those of you who don't know, Wen is the community manager that actually had us, that brought us down to TikTok HQ, showed us all around, showed us a really good time, showed us some secret stuff,
which we can't talk about.
Which we
And
can't talk about.
Then told us to steal as many snacks as we could get in our bags as well. Mate. I really appreciated that.
So like that was a great day. We'll go into that more in a bit. For now, let's carry on with Walking Dead. So
yeah,
Mac, you said you don't like the look of it. What about the actual gameplay?
Oh no, it's. Oh, sorry, I'm just typing. No, it's more Walking Dead. It's great. It is great. The story is pretty good. I mean, I've only played like sort of 2 chapters. I've only literally put 2 hours into it. It's more Walking Dead, and that's all I can say. If you enjoyed the first one, go and buy it. It's really good. If you didn't enjoy the first one, don't buy it. If you're a PC guy, maybe wait till February because it's only 2 months away, and you'll get a better experience graphically and all that sort of stuff. They launched on Quest 2 at £30, which I think is a decent price for a game that's going to last you 15 to 20 hours with the replayability, and obviously then you will get free DLC. So I can't say don't buy it. If you have a Quest 2, it'll be more Walking Dead. It's great. If you're a PC guy, I'd wait till February and then to get the full experience.
The thing is, I'm gonna replay the first one and Aftershocks between now and February. Just like that's my plan now, because I've decided I'm not buying it. I am going to put effort into replaying the first one. I'm probably going to do the first 20 days or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am going to do that, I think.
It's so difficult not to recommend the game, which is really good.
Yeah.
Sounds really weird, doesn't it?
We're getting to the end of the life of the Quest 2, though.
Yeah. So it's Skydance Interactive, isn't it? Have they been bought by Quest? So is it a timed exclusive, or they just have problems with the PCVR version?
That I know of.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I know it's February PC, March for the PSVR, so it's going to be a launch title, I reckon, for the PSVR 2, which should be good.
That would be a good seller.
Yeah,
that's going to be a system seller, that, because it's a great game.
Yeah. I mean, from what you guys told me, but like other feedback, it was a bit blurry, janky, and a bit popping and stuff. And I'm definitely going to wait. I'm definitely going to wait for that.
But I mean, the Quest 2 version of the original Walking Dead had that problem as well.
Yeah.
You know, there was like bland textures, a bit of pop in, because the levels are quite large. And
yeah.
I feel so bad saying to people that I don't like it, but it is a great game. It's more Walking Dead. So if you enjoyed it, you know, if you've got a Quest 2 and you only play standalone, go and buy it because it's great. If you're a PC guy, just maybe wait.
Mindex.
Right, so the original Walking Dead wasn't a cross-play title, was it?
What do you mean if you buy it on Oculus and Steam? Oculus PC.
I can't. It wasn't. It wasn't a cross. It wasn't.
Not that
cross-play.
I remember.
No, it wasn't. So, yeah.
I'll be doing my usual thing. I'll buy it on Steam and play it on Steam and love every second of it playing it through Steam.
On your Pico 4?
Pico 4.
Yeah.
It depends on Pico 4 or on Quest 2. Like, I still use my Quest 2 quite regularly because I like the setup of it, and I still don't have the accessories that I want for my Pico.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. So this is segueing into another story that I want to talk about, which was my visit to the Retro Computer Museum down in Leicester, which if you're a gamer and you're an old gamer like me, or even if you're a middle-aged gamer, you should go there. It's just wonderful. Basically, it's a museum which was a guy's collection, and he decided that he wanted to share it with people. So they set up a charity. They rented this area, and they basically just set up every single retro game every single retro game you've ever thought about, all the way from like PlayStation 3 down to like a sort of Binatone Pong machine. And you can just go in, and they sell beer and they sell food. Why would you not like that? And, you know, you can play Bomberman on the SNES. You can play Manic Miner on a Spectrum. You can play Elite on BBC Micro. And they've got these amazing, really old Virtuality VR machines, which is the original sort of arcade virtual reality machines. And it's like these machines were like in the 1990s, so that's nearly 30 years ago, and you had functioning VR with proper head tracking, but they were like, you had to strap this backpack on, and the headset was like massive. You put it on your face and you had to crank it on, and it just weighed a ton. The FOV was like 20 degrees. The frame rate was like 15. So I met Fluke and Daysnetic and Immersed Robots. I can't remember everybody's names. And this is really interesting. So when you of you watching, we took my Pico 4 down. So I did a full color pass-through, recorded walkthrough of the Retro Computer Museum, which I'm going to be doing a video on sometime in the next week or so. So you can actually see in color pass-through what this place is like, full of people, all playing games. It's just incredible. It's just, if you love retro games, you need to go to this museum. It's open on a Saturday and Sunday, I think, in Leicester. Take a trip down. It's absolutely great. But Daysnetic also brought his Pico 4. And after I'd done my walkthrough, there were people like, "Oh, can I try that?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So there were a lot of people who owned PC VR, there were a lot of people who owned Quest 2s, and you put the Pico 4 on their face, and they were just like, "Wow!" And this is not me talking. This is like people who've got Quest 2s and people who have PC VR. They were like, "Wow, this Pico 4 is so good. The screens, like the color pass through, the glass lenses," and they were absolutely blown away. So yeah, it was a great day. Just a lot of fun. We need to organize a day where we can all go down and meet up, because it's just magical.
Yeah, I was really gutted I couldn't attend that one. Really gutted.
Oh man, it was so good.
I don't go outside the M25. Sorry, guys. Don't know what's out there.
You don't go inside the M25. Like, I don't know what you're on about. You don't go outside it.
We went down to EGX and he didn't even turn up.
Exactly.
That's a different tube zone, though, to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been warned about that place too.
So when you was listening, I think I sold about 5 or 6 Pico headsets while I was there. So you can send me the commission later.
There you go.
I'm not sponsored by Pico, honestly. I'm just a pusher.
We're just a bit high on them at the moment.
Yeah, so good. Which is takes us on to hubris.
Okay, so what can we actually talk about? Because like we can't produce any content until Wednesday.
We can't talk about the game, but we can talk about some issues.
Yeah. So just so that we're clear though, hubris is still one of my sort of my big releases of the year, and has been for a while. Like I played the early access beta of it in January, I want to say. And I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. It was graphically wow. I was pretty happy with the mechanics. I was pretty high on it overall. But there are some issues, and the big one for me is that it's an open XR game,
which causes problems. Causes a lot of problems.
Yes, because if you hadn't known this, me and Mac, and I'm gonna guess Indy as well, are pretty big when it comes to virtual desktop. Like that's kind of our jam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love me some virtual desktop, and I can't use it with this.
Nope.
Which is pretty upsetting.
Which is going to the 15, 16 million Quest 2 users who play the PC VR when Hubris releases are going to be extremely disappointed that they can't play their game. And you know something else?
They can, because they can do it through Airlink.
Yeah.
If you want to play it through Airlink, which, let's face it, none of us really do.
All right. Well, I've got another issue. I can't use my Pico.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
Pico 4 now is my main PC VR headset for reasons which we've already covered, the quality of the screens, those pancake lenses. So I fired up Hubris and I was like, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. Got through the opening couple of screens where you do the sorry, dementia time, where you do the calibration. There you go. And then there's like a little message comes up saying blah blah blah, can't use the menu button. I was like, okay, whatever. Start the game. Oh, you can't use the menu button on the Pico 4. Right, okay. So I can't play on my Pico 4 then.
You also can't use the menu button on your Quest 2 through virtual desktop.
Yeah. So
obviously, the workaround that they put in for that was that the menu button on anyone using Steam XR runtime would be able to use the control stick by pressing the thumbstick down for 2 seconds. That would activate the menu.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
I'm literally talking to the Hubris team now as we talk about these problems.
Yeah.
I've got a big old Twitter thread that I'm going through with them, pointing out some of the problems. But that was the big one. Like they said that you would have like performance issues if you were to use the Steam XR runtime rather than the OpenXR runtime, which I was perfectly willing to try out, but I couldn't get past the opening because I couldn't use the menu button.
Yeah. Okay, so Norman Robinson on my chat has just said, what's the hold up with support for virtual desktop and Pico 4? There is no hold up for virtual desktop support on Pico 4. It works with all my PC VR stuff, except for Hubris.
Yep.
So just to get that out of the way, but if you have a Pico 4 or a Pico 3 and you have virtual desktop, you can play your virtual desktop stuff that you normally could. Do you criticize them in a review because of this problem, or do you just look at the game? That's the problem I've got.
I really don't know the answer.
Oh no, it's bugging me because. All right, so I'll go back a little bit. So I'm in contact with the developers of Zero Caliber Reloaded, and they actually said to me that my review of Zero Caliber Reloaded actually hit their sales, because when it released, I said don't buy it.
Yeah.
But now Zero Caliber Reloaded is one of the best co-op multiplayer games on the Quest platform, without a doubt. It's absolutely manic.
No, it's so fantastic.
So, in retrospect, would I put that review out? No, I wouldn't, because I don't want to hurt a VR developer. I don't want to I don't want to hurt their sales. So with Hubris, like you said, I'm kind of on the fence because I want Hubris to do well because it is a stunning looking game. But I can't get into the meat of the game because I can't get past the first hurdle. You know, tomorrow is going to be the day that I'm going to use my link cable and I'm going to play it on Quest 2 or Pico 4 if it works with the link cable. So I'm actually going to play it on my PC, and I'm really looking forward to it because the demo is amazing. But this is something we talked about when we went down to Pico, actually. It's taking steps away. If people have to take steps to play a game, they won't play it. Do you remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
So I mean, when you will testify to this, we actually sat there and we said, turn your headset on, start the game up, play it. That's it. If you put steps in the way, like Pico did with their streaming software, which isn't very good, and they will admit that, then people will get to that first step and they'll go, and then there's another step they'll go, and they won't bother. So if people like me and you will play Hubris we'll work it out and because
that's how we're built.
But 90% of consumers expect to buy a game, load it up, and play it. So if you get a message come up that says, "Oh, you need to change your OpenXR runtime to Steam VR," I mean, I know what that is, and I know how to change it. But does 90%, 95% of the other players in VR know how to do that? They'll be like, "What's that? I don't understand."
When you have to learn something to play a game that isn't about the game, that's a huge problem.
It's a massive problem, and that's that. Right. So it didn't with the demo. I'm pretty sure I played the demo on Virtual Desktop.
Yeah, no, this is it. I played the demo on Virtual Desktop, so I don't understand what the fuck is happening.
And when's it out? On Thursday, right?
Tomorrow, Wednesday. It's coming out on Wednesday for some strange reason.
I played it on Virtual Desktop when it was literally an executable that I had to access on my PC, not like through Steam or anything. They sent me a download link for the demo, like before the demo was released through Steamfest. And I don't remember having any problems.
No, I don't know. I just so Mike GC just said something quite interesting on the chat. Actually, he said that's where the PSVR 2 should win out, and I understand what he's saying because obviously on PSVR 2, if you buy a game, you're just going to go, play, and then you're going to be playing.
Console is just plug and play. You don't piss about with anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What Sturgis said there. It's plug and play. You're not going to like. If somebody who bought a PSVR 2 game suddenly had something that came up and said, OpenXR isn't the executable for Steam VR, you need to change this, they'd be just like, money back.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Crazy. So you're going to have to wait to see how we get on with Hubris on Wednesday. I will be reviewing it. There will be a review on my channel. I'm guessing there's going to be a review on your channel.
I'm not certain. It depends. If there is one, it probably won't be out until Friday.
Okay, that's because you have a job.
Yeah, but
this is because I have a job.
By Friday.
Sorry, mate.
No, I was just gonna say by Friday there's gonna be like 100 reviews out as well, isn't there? So
I don't know if there will be.
I mean, it's been.
I genuinely don't know if there will be for this one.
The problem is that the Steam community is quite vocal. So if they release the game and the first thing you have to do is go into Steam VR and go down to settings and then go down to developer and then go down to change OpenXR to Steam VR, that is going to get a lot of negativity straight away. And that is going to smash them in the face. Because if your game launches and there's 200 negative comments straight away, then people are going to go, "Ooh, no, I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to wait."
VR games, unfortunately, don't have the same thing as flat screen games either. You can't. We're too early in the life cycle of VR to end up with the No Man's Skies and the Cyberpunk 2077s, where it can be released to absolute garbage, be absolutely ripped to shreds, but then the devs will come back, fix the stuff, and then it will start getting good reviews, and then people will be like, oh yeah, this is the game it should have been when it came out. That's fine. We're happy now. We don't have the time for that in VR at the moment.
I'm going to hold my hand up and say I'm going to use one example here of a game that I was massively hyped for, and that's Larcenauts.
Yeah.
And Larcenauts, so the whole thing about VR is you have a very small audience. So you need to hold on to that audience, and especially in a PvP game. So say Population 1 did it really well. When it launched, it was great. Held on to its audience, lots of updates. We won't go into what happened later on, but Larcenauts lost its audience in one day.
Yep.
And that was the end of it. And if you go onto Larcenauts now, there's about 60 or 70 people playing, and those 60 or 70 people have been playing it since launch, and they are animals.
They're going into what are they going into? Like some kind of league stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
I read something that Larcenauts, I think they're trying to get the game back up there. But yeah, like you said, mate, I remember the launch was horrendous, man.
Well, we streamed it on launch day, didn't we?
Yeah, and then even that game I played the other day with the inventory and stuff, the game that's like Zero Caliber, which I think will be a good game once they completely fix it. But I've been keeping an eye on it and chatting to the devs. It's got like all negative reviews. So that's enough for someone to look at it and not buy it. But they've changed they fixed one major issue, and the inventory is the other one, which is what they're working on. So I'm chatting to them about it, and they gave me some keys to go, look, get other people to test it as well. So I'm going to do like a giveaway thing. But I said to them, I'm not going to do that until you've done the inventory update. Otherwise, it's just going to be more negative stuff. So, because people give negative reviews for the stupidest stuff as well. Like on RFVR, I think one of their first reviews was, put this game on, blah, 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 blah. It's crap. And the guy, you could tell he played it for 15 minutes. 15 minutes or 12 minutes. People are just arseholes, to be honest.
You're right. They will use the most ridiculous things. It'll be like, oh yeah, it didn't reach out of the screen and tickle my balls while I played it, and therefore it's the worst game ever.
Yeah.
One of the games that I remember for this was it's an absolutely fantastic game, and if you haven't played it, if you have a PC and you have VR, you need to play it. It's called Eye of the Temple, and it's just one of the most innovative games I've ever played. But basically, what you need and they actually say this, you need a 2 meter by 2 meter play space to play it, because you have to physically step around. It's a very clever puzzle game. So you have to step forward and step to the side and step back, but you always end up in the center of your play space. So one of the first reviews I read about it, I read it on Steam VR, was like, I don't have a 2 meter by 2 meter play space. This game is crap.
And it says, go on.
And the guy got fucking slated for being a dick.
Good.
Because it's like, in the description of the game, it says you need a 2 meter by 2 meter play space because of the game mechanics. And it's just like there's the first negative review. And I mean, now if you look on Eye of the Temple on Steam, it's mostly positive, which it should be because it's a great game. But that one guy, if you get 10 people buy the game and one guy gives it a negative, and 9 other people don't review it, then it's like mostly negative. And you're like, for fuck's sake.
That is the equivalent of someone buying a VR game on Steam and then reviewing it badly because they don't have a VR headset. Like, it's so fucking dumb.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like someone buying a steering wheel for a car and then being pissed off that they don't own a car.
Yeah.
Like,
people are just...
That's ridiculous.
I bought these 4 tires for my car and I don't own a car. These tires are crap. It's like...
Yeah, there was...
Thanks, Norman Robinson.
Oh, Norman, thanks, mate. So can we quickly...
Yeah, go on.
Can we quickly talk about this? Because this is one of the things on my list. So thank you very much for donating, Norman. We absolutely appreciate it. Cheers. Thank you very much. So what we're trying to do is any donations we get on the podcast, we are going to give straight back to the community. Unfortunately, there is a delay in payment to me because I'm the one who takes in the payments for the podcast. So if you donate money, it will be given straight back to the community.
It will have some impact on the podcast in some way or form, and the community will benefit from it, I think is the best way of putting it.
Yeah. So what happened last week, 2 weeks ago, it went fucking crazy. And we ended up with over $100 of donations. So we did a spin the wheel and we were like, yeah, let's give money away. Let's give Steam VR keys away. The reality is that I didn't get paid that money. So I couldn't give the money away. And people are going to have to wait a month to actually get their Steam.
Because YouTube is slow.
YouTube is slow. So,
although, can you imagine if, like, every day your ad revenue got deposited in your bank as like £3.80? It would be so weird.
So these are the winners of the $20 Steam cards. It was Ludovico, it was Mo Beast, Paradise Decay, Reeks of Cheese, and Cactus. I think that don't get me wrong. I think Taz made a donation, and he sorted somebody out.
Yeah, so Taz is sorting out Cactus.
Oh, so that's right. Yes, that's fine. So those 4 people are still waiting on their $20 Steam keys. They are coming. They'll be coming on the 23rd of December. So again, Norman, thank you very much. Hold on a second. He actually asked the question. Does the Pico 4 platform have support for full body tracking via this? Chewy? Can we answer that question or not?
No, we can't.
Right, Norman.
Right, so
bearing in mind that when you is actually in the chat, I can't answer that question. Sorry.
Hang on. So we're on about this. You say Slim VR. Do you mean the Slime VR?
Slime VR, yeah, Slime.
So
can we say that they have a different solution?
No, hang on. I don't know how the Slime VR actually works specifically. I mean, if it supports native VR support, Steam VR support, so there's no reason why you couldn't use it as part of your PC VR tracking system. Like, I can't see any reason why that wouldn't work.
If it uses the same system as Walk Over, then they're having problems. Because they use Bluetooth for the trackers, and that has issues. Excuse me. Yeah, we. Right. Let's answer. I'll answer the question. No. Yes, for PC VR. No for standalone. And
the thing is,
something else coming.
Pico they're innovative little grommets. They are doing some crazy stuff, and I would not be surprised if we see not necessarily the Slime VR solution, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some interesting things coming in the future, whether it be third party or not.
Have you ever thought of running for Parliament? That was a great non-answer.
Yeah.
When you're still in chat, could you help us out or not help us out? It's up to you.
Oh. Anyway, so, moving on.
Right. So just to recap, any money that gets donated goes straight back to the community.
Sorry,
I don't know what
there is a fly.
Crazy.
There's a fly buzzing around in front of me. Like, I can't remember who it was. Someone in your chat earlier was like, "Oh yeah, he looks like Rainfeld from Dracula, Undead and Loving It, moving around trying to catch this bloody fly." And yeah, I feel like it, and it's driving me insane.
Right. So before we got distracted by the fly, any donations to the podcast will go back to the community. We are a non-profit organisation. It will go straight back to.
Read your chat.
No, sorry. We can't talk about it. Sorry, we can't talk about it.
Anyway, on to a different subject.
Quickly, before we get sued. Right, we talked about Hubris. Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. So have you played this one, Indy?
Doesn't interest me. I like the TV show, but I don't think it's going to be my kind of experience.
Okay, so you haven't played the demo then?
Yeah. No, I haven't played any. I still need to watch the last season. I know it's been out for a while, but I saw the trailer. I've seen bits of gameplay, and I don't think it's for me. Yeah.
Okay. Shuey, go.
So the extended version of the demo, I'm assuming you're talking about the one that came out recently.
Yes.
That's the one that I was allowed to play when I was at EGX.
Okay.
That was the bit that I got to play as the extra little bit that I don't know that they did for the weird thing that I was doing. I'm not sure exactly what it was that they allowed me to do, if I'm really honest.
Okay. I'm not confused at all.
No, well, I was confused during the whole thing because I turned up and they were like, "Oh, you're Shuey," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they were like, "We're going to show you this thing that we're not showing anyone else apart from like a couple of people." I'm like, "Okay, cool, why?" And then afterwards, they shuffled me off to this private room to go and have an exclusive interview with their game director guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I turned up with 0 questions.
You winged
didn't
it.
really
you
know.
winged it.
And I literally put the phone on the table and then managed to pull 40 minutes of bullshit out of my ass to ask this guy. And I'm like, yeah, so what was your inspiration for this? Please tell me you can do this. And at the end of it, I thought to myself, I literally, as soon as I walked out the door, went, But yeah, so I got to play it then, and I genuinely really enjoyed it. Like because I don't think hang on, did in the original when you were there, did you actually get to see Tommy?
Yeah, are you talking about the extended demo, or are you talking about the EGX demo, which was the one that people experienced on the stand?
Yeah, so the people that they experienced 2 different versions on the stand at EGX.
Right. Okay.
I got to experience the extended demo there.
Yeah, which the public didn't.
Which the public didn't.
Okay.
I can't remember where it switches over though.
It's after you go into the pub and you interrogate the guy, and then you have to go back outside, and you.
Then you go to the canals.
Then you go to the canals. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
I didn't play the extended demo at EGX, but I have played the extended demo now because I've had access to it. I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put my hands on the table and say I'm worried.
Okay. Why are you worried?
Because it was garbage.
Really? You thought it was garbage?
Oh, it was terrible.
How much of a fan are you of the show?
Massive.
Okay.
Watched every single season. Absolutely loved it. Like the opening sequence in the demo where you're walking towards the Garrison pub and the music, dum, you know, with a dusty black coat and a red right hand. And like the flames are shooting out and you're walking towards the Garrison. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be incredible. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. I don't have any hair on my head. It was just the hair on the back of my neck stood up. And then you go into the Garrison pub, right? So I'm not giving anything away here because the demo is now actually available on the Pico and the Quest, I think, as well. So you can actually go and do this right now. And I know it's available on the Pico.
Yeah. That's recent. That's only this week.
Yeah. It's only this week. So you open the doors to the Garrison pub, and it is the Garrison, exactly as it is in the TV program. And as soon as you walk in, Tommy stood there smoking a cigarette, and it's voiced by Cillian Murphy, and Arthur is.
I'm sorry, just so that we're clear, his name is Cillian Murphy.
Oh, is it Killian? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not pronounced Cillian.
Well, it's a C. I just assumed
Cillian.
it was a C. Right. So Killian Murphy's Tommy Shelby stood there smoking a cigarette, and you're like, oh my God, I'm stood next to Thomas Shelby, and it's like the voice acting is great. You know, Arthur is all of the cast are done by the actual cast, except for Peggy, because unfortunately, as you know, she passed away. So it's done by a different person. And there's this like sequence where you sit down and you can smoke a cigarette. And I did actually tap the ash. You said to me, did you tap the ash? Yeah. Pull the cigarette out of your mouth. And did you know you can switch fingers?
No.
Oh, you pull the cigarette out of your mouth and you press the A button. You switch his fingers.
I did not know this.
Oh, right. And then you can tap the ash. And Tommy's telling you about, you know, this red box that's been stolen from Churchill, and there's all these secrets in it. And you can pour gin in the glass, and it's actually Shelby gin.
Yeah. I liked that. I liked all of that.
I liked all that. So I was like pouring gin in the glass, and you drinking the gin, and then smoking the cigarette, tapping the thing, and then he gives you a gun, and you have to go and interrogate somebody. I'm not giving anything away here because this is all in the demo, right? And you can, when you interrogate the guy, you can do whatever you want. But the extended demo then goes on to a sequence in I can't remember the name of the guys. It's like a yard. Is it Barney, Bobby? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the yard in the game, in the TV program. It's all recognizable. Then you have to get the gun. You have to shoot a couple of targets, and then you get attacked. And that was shit. It was shit.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, I will grant you. And when I played at EGX, I was under the impression that was a really early way the system was going to work. But then the demo came out and it was exactly the same. And I was like, the gunplay is pretty basic. And if they don't have much gunplay, which I'm perfectly happy with, because honestly, I'm not going to be playing this game for the gunplay. I'm going to be playing it for the story. Then that's fine. But if the game's like half that, I'm not going to be very happy.
No. So in the extended demo, there's a shootout with some communists. And if anybody that has a Quest knows, the Quest controller doesn't suit a direct shot. It kind of has an up and right tilt. Did you notice this?
Yeah, no, on some games it does.
Yeah. So if you point your gun directly in the game, it has a slight right and up tilt, which means you have to point your gun and then go to get your gun on. And the AI was shit, and it was like
the AI is bad.
You have to go here. Like, so you're here, you have to go here, but you have to go that way. I'm like, cannot just go that way because there's some unclimbable sort of barrels in front of you. So you have to go through this to get to where you're going to go. And I tell you what it reminded me of. You remember when back in the 90s when every single movie adaptation was the 3D scrolling beat 'em up?
Yeah.
I had that feeling bizarrely when I was playing that game, and I was like, I really enjoyed the bit sitting down in the pub talking to Tommy and tapping the cigarette and listening to him talking, and then doing the interrogation because there's so many ways you can do it.
Yeah, the interrogation was really impressive.
The interrogation was brilliant. It's one of those moments where I was like, the first time I played it, I piled in and did something, and I was like, that was a bit shit. The second time I did it, I was like, okay, well, I'll try something else. And then you realize what you're supposed to do is...
What did you do the second time?
I shot him in the foot. And then I shot him in the knee.
Yeah.
That's what you did the first time because you're a sadist.
Yeah.
I just walked in. See, the first time I just walked in and shot him in the head, and then read all the things. Was like, well, that was shit.
Yeah. So the very first time I played it, my first thought was, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Got to try and torture this guy.
Yeah. I don't think I'm more of a humane person, but the second time I played it, I was like, yeah, this is really good. So what I would like is more of that and less of the shooting, because the shooting was bad.
Yeah, I'd rather there be puzzles or
Yes.
long conversations where I have to make decisions.
Yeah. Moral decisions.
Yeah, that would be more interesting to me personally.
Yeah.
Like having to choose between going to see one of two characters and that having a big problem over what happens in the story would be quite good.
Which is what the TV program is all about. It's like Tommy's descent into his madness, but it's like his alcohol addiction, his drug addiction, his trying to balance his business while he's also becomes an MP.
An MP, yeah.
And the decisions he makes, which you can't, he makes decisions, and then 2 or 3 episodes later, you see why he made those decisions, and that's what I would like from the game. I would like more of the beginning and less of the shooty shit, because the shooty shit was pretty bad, even down to the point where Arthur stood there doing a juxtaposition to you, and one of the communists is creeping up behind him. So I was like, oh, Arthur, there's somebody behind you. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, I can't shoot him because there's obviously going to be a cutscene. And I was like, that totally took me out of the story.
So you're saying you want it to be more, like, less of a shooty thing and like more story driven?
Yeah, it's like, so this is going back to Walking Dead. What Walking Dead does really well is that there's a decent story, but you can approach it however you want. There's moral choices and moral decisions, but the shooting and the fighting is really good. You could just go to a level with an idea in mind of what you need to do, and then you just end up killing zombies, and then think, oh shit, and then come back the next day and try and do the story. I would prefer it to be more like that. I would prefer it to be more open.
Right, I just want to answer a couple of things, or address a couple of things that were in your chat, Mac. Okay. Bastard.
I'm not a bastard.
That's not very nice.
Sorry, that fly is still driving me insane. I still haven't got it. Wolveraza, hope you get to use the hat for namesake. That would be cool. I can 100% confirm that you will be able to use the hat at some point during the game. Because it was one of the questions that I asked the lead game designer, and he confirmed that yes.
Find us, for God's sakes.
Yes, you will definitely be able to do it.
They had razor blades sewn into their flat caps.
Yeah,
that's where they got their name from.
So, and then Fluke Roji, maybe it'll turn out like Red Matter 2, where there's a good game, but the shite combat sections. I completely agree with you. The combat sections in Red Matter 2 were absolute garbage. I hated every second of it. Every time I got to the point where I had to fire the gun, I wanted to switch the game off.
What game is that, sorry?
But I kept Red Matter 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I loved the game on the whole.
It's so good.
But the combat sections were pointless. They were a literal waste of my time.
Gap fill, like people, yeah. Some people put it in there to kind of gap fill and be like, yeah. And a mechanic to make it last longer. I don't know.
Yeah, Red Matter 2 is a puzzle game, and then the end of the game is a combat game, and it was so jarring.
Yeah.
It was like, it's like Levitation. Like when I played Half-Life Alyx Levitation, and the last level, they take away all your guns and you have to use plasmids. It was so frustrating because you train yourself to use your guns and become good at combat and dodge in and out of cover and all that sort of stuff. And then they put you in a situation which is completely different to the way the game has been played. Now, admittedly, Half-Life Alyx did that at the end of the game, if you've got to the end of Half-Life Alyx. But I don't understand why developers do that. It's jarring. Again, Red Matter 2, yeah. Sorry.
No, I think that's a good segue. You wanted to talk about Levitation, didn't you? I once again, I haven't played Levitation. It's on my list of things to do, but too many things keep coming up.
Right. Serge, you've played Levitation.
As you all know, guys, I have never played any Half-Life mods. I played 007 Gang, not Gang, damn, bloody hell, Gangbang. Dam Busters.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Oh, God. That when I went to Thailand, that was all that was playing everywhere I went. Jesus Christ.
See, those lady boys, damn it.
Yeah. I think my friend tried to actually stitch me up with a lady boy. So we were outside the hotel. And he kept saying to her that I wanted a massage and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, no, I don't. And then he told her my hotel room number. And we went out. I'll tell you another time. Anyway, no, joking.
No, we are 1 hour and 20 minutes in, and we have hit rock bottom.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, I'm guilty of... I know Half-Life, Alex. The best thing about it is the mods. I really want to play through it again, but with the hard game plus and the hard bit mode before I do any mods. But I just never get around to doing it. There's too much other stuff going on. So,
okay, so it's just down to me to talk about Half-Life Alyx Levitation then. If you have Half-Life Alyx, download Levitation from the workshop. It's a mod. There's 5 levels. When you've downloaded them, activate them all in your... When you start the game, make sure you activate all of them. Otherwise, your save game won't work. And Levitation is as good as Half-Life Alyx. It's more Half-Life Alyx, but just different. One of the things I'm a bit disappointed about is in the trailer where they show the combat between the Alyx and the Strider. They made it look like she could sprint, and they made it look like she could slide into cover. That is bullshit. That I don't know how they did that. They just yeah, it's all bullshit. But
you can make yourself run in Half-Life Alyx though.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a mod?
It's kind of. It's a line of code that you put into your launch option.
All right. Okay. So
you just literally change your walk speed essentially, and you can change it so that it's like 150 or 200, so that you can just not dawdle around as much.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that was one of the things I was disappointed about, because the trailer made it look like you could like slide cancel into cover and stuff like that. You can't. But it was so good. The voice acting, they basically brought in a guy to do Alex's, a different actor to do Alyx, and a different actor to do Russell, and a different actor to do the G-Man. And they just did it so well that you actually wouldn't, if you weren't really listening, you wouldn't notice a difference.
I heard the Australian guy on your stream.
Russell, yeah,
the Australian guy.
Yeah,
you can tell the
really
difference,
good.
but
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a brilliant job of that mod, man. Does look awesome.
So I streamed it, I think twice, 4 hours. I mean, if you can finish Half-Life Alyx in 4 hours. So Levitation being a mod, a free mod as well, it's like another 4 hours of Half-Life Alyx. It was brilliant, sublime. Absolutely loved it. Go and download it. It's free. There you go.
I will download it like I did.
And you probably won't play it.
Yeah, I had 100 and something gigs of Half-Life Alyx mods before I wiped my PC, and I almost it was disgusting. But yeah, I do just need to set some time aside and be like, right, I'm doing Half-Life Alyx and with all the hard mods and play through it. Is that
okay? So we're going to move on.
Yep. Should we talk about the Resolution Game Showcase and the demo stuff as well?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got 2 showcases to talk about, haven't we?
Yeah, there's
one which I didn't know about.
Upload VR is this week, right?
It's on Wednesday evening at 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Yep.
What was I saying?
And the Resolutions game one is on the 15th of December at
15th
5 p.m.
at
GMT.
5 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 p.m. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Resolution are the guys who made Ultimex.
I mean, that's one game that they've
One
made.
game, so
I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
say that that's the one that they're known for.
That's the only one that sprung to mind. Okay, so what else have they done?
They made Akron.
Okay.
They made Cooking VR, a sandwich tale set.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna start. I'm literally searching them out.
So am I, mate.
Top VR
we
games
go.
from.
Come on, shout out if you know what
I feel
Resolution
really
games
bad. Demio, obviously,
Demio,
Blast on. Cookout
On.
was the
Cookout,
was the game I was looking
Isle of
for.
Pigs, Angry Birds.
And I was going to say their most popular game of all time, of course, Angry Birds VR.
I like
Isle
that.
of Pigs.
That was good fun. That was just a little.
What?
Yeah, man. Do you think it's shit? I actually.
I didn't think it was shit. I just like it's Angry Birds, man. It's
Hey, listen.
like...
When you got a PlayStation VR, mate, you didn't have Max Choice back in those days. There wasn't much going on. I thought it was good. It was good. I played with my nephew. He was like 5, so for me it was fun. But
Yeah, because that's okay.
I think like their
Shuey's
most
been-
successful games are probably Blast On and Demio, and we're going to ignore what he just said about fucking
wow.
Angry
So-
Birds.
We have an insight here, don't we?
Do we?
We do.
Can you talk about it, Mac, or was it one of your?
No. We had an off-piste comment from a guy from Resolution when we were at EGX.
No.
Or I did then, and he said, "What Resolution games have done with their next game is off the charts." But that's all he said.
We're not allowed to say that.
All that they've released is.
I
Yeah.
didn't mention any names.
They said a
Were you-
whole. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, Serge.
No. I
Carry
was just going to say all they released is a whole new game like you've never seen before. That's basically all they've said publicly.
Oh, actually, fuck. No, it wasn't. It was when we went to Pico and it was Jay.
Yeah.
Right. So when we went to Pico, we met somebody who works for Super Bright. And he said, I can't talk about it, but Resolution's next game is going to be off the chart. And he said they're doing things that are unbelievable in VR. And we were like, what, Half-Life Alex? And he was like, nah, it blows that out the water. And he literally went, I can't talk about it, didn't he?
Oh, even Silvertongue's like, haha, stitching Jay up now.
Well, he didn't say anything.
He didn't.
All he said was, you need to be aware of what's going on at Resolution Games. So Beanie, I'm sorry, mate. We haven't chucked you under the cart. We haven't said anything that you didn't. Yeah. Have we just chucked him under the cart? I don't know.
Yeah, we need to
Probably
stop
have.
Mac drinking.
Yeah,
on
Mac.
this podcast. Like, it's.
No, this is like, we haven't said anything, but what we're saying is that you need to watch the Resolution Games cast on the 15th because
Yeah,
they're gonna,
new and interesting shit.
new and interesting shit, and apparently it's groundbreaking.
Revolutionary.
Groundbreaking. Yeah. I knew it'd
Well-
get to me eventually.
Let's see, mate. Let's see. The amount of hype that's going
Silver
around for VR
tongues.
games these days. Let's see what
Stitching Jay
happens.
up now. I'm not stitching Jay up. Oh, I thought it was Resolution. Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
Okay, should we do something about Mac? What do you reckon? Should we
What?
punish him?
Intervention.
Yeah. In dementia, I thought you said. You can blame the dementia, Mac. It's fine. It's like, I didn't know.
In Dementia Unchained.
Oh, speaking of Unchained, yeah.
Oh, you've been playing, haven't you?
I was supposed to get it, and the sale ended, and I was like, oops, because I did tell Silver and Weeble that I would, and I completely forgot. So I will get it.
I've done basically nothing today apart from play that. Like that's basically been my day. I woke up, didn't really know what to do with myself, decided to play Unchained, and then played some Hubris, and then the Hubris crashed, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to play Unchained again." Then, and
yeah, I know. Weeble plays every day, like religiously, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's number 160 in the world.
Yeah, Diamond Geezer just said, "Serge, check your phone." Sorry.
I can't. I'm using it as a camera, mate. Sorry.
Yeah,
Weeble's a massive in-depth Unchained player.
yeah. He is number 160 on the leaderboards.
He tells me, "Oh, I'm not all that. I'm an old geezer," and but he's actually that good. He's been blagging it.
Yeah, no, it's I'm kind of blown away, to be honest. Like I looked at my score from one of my runs, and I was like, I just got 70k. I feel like I'm on top of the fucking world. And I looked at like the leaderboards, and there's fucking Weeble with his 1.8 million, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's not a thing, surely.
He must look really good, because he was saying that people are really good like at that game, and now he seems like he's improved a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you guys are into the idea of like archery and crossbows and running around in this roguelike, which obviously, like, honestly is super fun. Like I was blown away by how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually like the idea of crossbows, but after Weeble was talking about it earlier, I went in and tried with the crossbow, which by the way feels like easy mode, compared to the bow. I was just kind of like, this game is actually something phenomenal. Silver Tongue, not to brag, but I finished 4th last season on 36 million.
And he was 4th. And he was 4th.
Yeah, no, crossbow does feel like cheating. It's but yeah, no, it's a good game. If you guys don't already own it, go and buy it or wait for the next sale.
Yep. Okay.
You see what Wen just said about you, Max? I have to say that I want to record Max laugh and set it as my morning alarm. I'm assuming because it will scare the shit out of you to the point where there's no possible way of you going back to sleep.
I'll come down to your house, Wen, and I'll sit by your bed. And when you at 7 o'clock,
God,
I'll start laughing.
Max gonna get his channel banned just off of that comment.
Paul
God.
from the VR Realms in my chat. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
How you doing, Paul?
Okay. How you doing, Paul? Right. Serge, you want to talk to him about what we've been talking about?
Yeah. So, Paul, we were just talking about your channel and what happened, how messed up it is, and we all really hope that they sort it out. And have you had any kind of update on that at all? We all shared your.
Thanks for the
Hey, cheers, Diamond.
Cheers, Diamond. Cheers, Diamond. We all.
Sorry.
We all. What did we do? We all shared your Twitch channel with everyone in chat, so to get them to follow as well. Show you a bit of support, mate. Hopefully, it all sorts itself out, man.
Yeah, we're all behind you, buddy.
So we actually, if you rewind the podcast, we actually talked about it quite extensively. So obviously we support you, mate. We're here for you. We're all trying everything we can do. Anything you need us to do, just ask and we'll do it for you, obviously.
Yes.
Within reason.
No,
I'll
do anything. Damn it, Mark.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how IndieVR started his OnlyFans.
I'm worried now because I'm going down for Serge's birthday in February, and I'm worried that I'm going to put out.
You already said you're going down. That's enough for me, mate.
Coming down. I'm coming down to London.
I've got to yeah. I'll give Shu the dates as well.
What dates?
Oh, there he is.
So it's going to be, where is it? The 4th of
February.
Feb?
4th of February? I probably quite free then, actually.
Yes, going down on the 4th. I'm coming down on the train. I'm stopping on the Friday and Saturday, going home on the Sunday. Probably feeling a bit worse for wear.
So look, 4th of Feb. I'm free that weekend.
Hey! Diamond Geese is going to come. Oh, I'm going to record that laugh. I'm going to have that as my ringtone. I'm going to send it to Wen Yu so she can wake up to that as well. Honestly, Diamond Geese's laugh is the best in the world. It's like, it's just crazy.
Diamond.
What's the Among Us VR live stream? Crazy. Oh.
I think, Diamond. Let me know, mate, if you're in London, because I need to get numbers, because it's going to get out of control.
Send me an address so I can work out whether I can actually rock up at yours in the van, mate.
Yeah, just park up anyway. Who cares? It's fine.
Well, it's more of whether or not you're in the exclusion zone or not.
Yeah, because he's a polluter.
I'm not an exclusion. There's no kind of exclusion. I'm not
Sweet.
in London.
Right, that's cool. I'm going to come stay in the van. Happy days.
I'm not in London. Yeah. There's plenty
you get to see how much Shuey can drink in a very short space of time.
Nice. Yeah. Excellent. There's a you can park any. How big? Like, what is it? Like a big camper van or?
It's a big transit, mate.
Like an RV.
Do you realise we're talking about going to your
it's an actual
podcast?
Yeah, let's sorry guys. Yeah.
Okay,
let's
anyway,
not
It's like 600
we get carried away, guys, because the thing that you guys don't realise is we're all actually kind of like we're mates in behind the scenes. And so we have a couple of drinks and we're just like, oh shit, we're live. But actually, we'll just talk to each other because after we're done here as well, like we'll still sit and chat for another hour.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe we should do the podcast after.
The after,
which gets really weird.
The afterlife of the podcast.
Afterlife, yeah. Oh my god.
Right, next subject, guys.
Sorry, 1 second, guys. VR Realm said they have said it's not coming back when it was reviewed by a human. He's waiting for an email for more information now to see what breached it.
What the actual fuck?
He'll share more when he finds out in the email.
It's been reviewed by a human being, and they've still said. So what the? Somebody doesn't like furries or something. It's like This is one of the things we talked about, is that somebody will have been offended by maybe your avatar or something, and they've reported you. This is the only thing we could think of, because obviously your channel hasn't been hacked, and unless it was like a sexual comment on your chat, but then I get sexual comments on my chat all the time.
Normally from me, yeah.
Yeah, usually from you, or like a sex chat bot or something like that. So that's really weird that.
I don't get it, mate.
It's not when reviewed by a human. No, mate, that's crazy.
Because I didn't see that particular video, so I don't. But I think Paul said it's with, I've forgotten who it was, but some pretty big people on YouTube and stuff who have clean content, and it's not like anything bad, like any swearing or anything. I don't think would have been in it. Or
yeah, I mean, when we posted on Twitter, I mean, you had a lot of support from, like, obviously the UK VR community. So we're talking like, like Beto Benju and Steve Knows and Mike and everything. So, and they have contacts in YouTube. So I don't understand what's going on, mate. I'm really sorry about this. I don't know how to help you. I mean, compared to those guys, we're minnows, and it could happen to us, which is fucking frightening in the first place. So.
Yeah, we were talking about that as well. Like, it could just happen to anyone.
So what we'll do, Paul, is we'll get you on the podcast in the new year, and we'll talk about it, mate. That's all we can do, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully there's a resolution somewhere.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form, mate.
Yeah, man.
You can put your case forward. Anything we can do to help. Honestly, it's fucking crazy.
He's saying there's he just needs to see what video it was, apparently, and then he can go from there. Until then,
it's insane when you think about it, isn't it? Right? This in the YouTube world, you can stick a video on there where it is quite literally an entire movie, right? An entire film. And you won't be able to monetize it because it'll be owned by somebody else. And it will probably stay there for a fair while, right? Or you can stick back-to-back songs from a Spotify playlist of the best artists around. And once again, you won't be able to monetize it, but it'll stay there. But somehow he has one bad thing happen on one video and his entire channel gets taken down. Seems like bullshit to me.
Yeah, it does. So if anybody is into YouTube and you know who Aussie Man, everybody know who Aussie Man is?
Yeah, I know Aussie Man.
Okay. So Aussie Man's last video was basically a load of models wearing sellotape as bikinis. So it was basically just a load of naked women walking down a catwalk. So if that's not sexual content, and I'm not saying that it should be banned because obviously he does like a funny...
It's a parody, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like he does. But if anybody was going to get banned for sexual content, there were naked women walking down a catwalk while he did a very funny Aussie Man over the top. So that it's like those women were naked. So how could that not be?
It feels like we need to just everyone move onto DTube, mate. Like start ignoring YouTube. Just everyone move to DTube. And yeah, there's no bans on DTube.
What's DTube?
Yeah.
DTube is a decentralized blockchain version of YouTube, where there is no oversight. Like don't get me wrong, it sounds like the Wild West of terrible places.
Sounds great to me. What am I doing on here?
So DTube it's blockchain, it's decentralized, and there's no moderation. There is no algorithm. So basically, it's sort of self-moderated by the people. You don't need to get... it's kind of like Reddit in a way. You don't need 1,000 subs to monetize because every upvote you get monetizes the video.
Okay.
My God.
But it pays you in a terrible
crypto, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't pay you in Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Doge. It pays you in Dcoin, which is probably going to die very, very quickly. But yeah, I was only learning about this today. It's a crazy idea.
Yeah, I mean,
you get all the crazy. Right, moving on quickly because we've gone down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the VR Game Awards, please.
Yes. The VR Game Awards.
Yeah. So, was it the Pico?
Back to what we should be doing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Back to what we should be talking about.
Was it the Pico 3 one, right? Pico Neo 3.
Pico Neo 3 won the Hardware Award of the Year.
Okay. And was the show sponsored by Pico?
Oh, I don't know.
I heard that it was.
Do a quick Google.
Do a Google. I heard it. Well, I don't know. Somebody said something somewhere.
I'm going to say something here, and when you're still watching, the Pico Neo 3 link was a crock of garbage. It was launched with a very, very bare bones UI. It didn't the Wi-Fi didn't work. The link didn't work. It was just a bad headset. Standalone was okay.
It wasn't brought to you. It wasn't sponsored by Pico.
Okay.
No, I didn't think so.
It was brought by AIXR.
The controllers were crap. It was a very poor headset, unless you were playing PC VR by a DisplayPort, which in that terms it was absolutely magical, because I played a lot of Automobilista 2 on it, seated on my game rig with the DisplayPort cable attached. Genuinely really good, but just for that one thing. To be named the hardware winner of the year is... It makes me think that they've lost their, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, people, help me out.
Sorry, I'm not good right now.
authority.
I'm kind of owned because I'm actually reading the different categories and the winners.
Yeah.
And they're kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, they are. Right, so should we start from the top? VR Content Creator of the Year, Habby. That's fine.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep, that's okay.
Happy147, he was a good guy. Bear in mind that the finalists included Between Realities, Cass and Carrie, Gamertag, Karen X Chen, I don't know who that is. Kent Bai, Voice of VR Podcast, don't know that one. Nathi, Nazy, Fia, and Thrill.
And Thrill Seeker, who won last year.
Yeah, like Habby is a great creator. I love watching his content. I'm not sure what it is about his content that I like so much. I genuinely can't point it out, but I cannot stop watching.
Yeah. So hardware of the year was the Pico Neo 3 Link.
Okay, right. So when you actually look at what it was up against, like there's nothing phenomenal here.
Vive Flow was a mistake. The Vario Aero is too expensive. The X-Tal was like £8,000. The other two I've not even heard. I mean, I'm a VR content creator. I've never even heard of the other two. So okay.
No.
Moving on swiftly, I've got a Pico Neo 3 Link. Here it is, right here. Great for DisplayPort. If you're a sim racer or a Microsoft Flight Simulator guy, amazing. Standalone, okay. Everything else, rubbish. Right, move on. Sorry, when you.
So yeah, VR Game of the Year went to Polyarc Games for Moss Book 2, which I don't think is a bad shout, but I don't think it should have been. It's definitely not my Game of the Year. Like there are definite here are the finalists. Okay, we have Veil VR, The Tale of Onogoro, Cities VR, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's boring, bland, and
Why
never
the hell
bothered
is
to
that
play
even
it.
on the list? Like, gone.
Resident Evil 4, Wanderer, Finger Gun, Garden of the Sea, Zenith the Last City, Lone Echo 2, I Expect You to Die 2, and After the Fall.
Right, so
there is some good.
On that list, who won for you?
It's a struggle for me. Genuinely, it's a struggle to point out which I think should have won. I want to quickly go through these games, if you don't mind, from my perspective. I'd like you guys to do the same for the ones that you've tried or the ones that you'd like to try. Okay. So, Moss Book 2, I enjoyed it. It was beautiful. I love Quill. I love the world that they've built. But it was a 4-hour game. And I've played it through twice, and I enjoyed it each and every time. But then you've got Veil. Veil is the game that it is doing something very specific, and I really love playing it, and I play it over and over and over. I haven't played the Tale of Onogoro, so I can't comment on that one. Cities VR, I couldn't really care less. That is a monotony to me. I much preferred Little Cities. That was a lot more fun. Star Wars, I think it was. This is not a game; it's an experience.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 was an amazing game. It was really good. Wanderer is probably in my top 3 on this list. Have you guys played Wanderer?
Yes, I have to admit here horribly that as you already know, I've never played it.
Nor have I. I don't think I've played any of the list so far.
Okay, so right, Serge.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you like puzzle games, to any extent, right, Wanderer is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I know that game's. I know that.
Jumping.
I know that game's epic. It's like one of those games I'm saving, but I don't know for when. So I should just play it.
No, it is. Wanderer is absolutely fantastic and did not get anywhere near enough marketing and fanfare that it should have. Yeah. I haven't played Finger Gun, but it looks pretty cool. Garden of the Sea was incredible for me. It was so chilled out to the point where, like, my wife doesn't play VR, but she played the Garden of the Sea to death. Like, it is Animal Crossing in VR. It was great. Zenith, I think, should have had a better shot at the top title than what it got.
It should have released better.
It should have released better, but they've just released a big update as well, or a big update is on the way. So yeah, I think that should have probably had a better shot. Lone Echo 2 was I'm assuming Max Game of the Year. And I really enjoyed Lone Echo 1. I'm still yet to play Lone Echo 2. I own it. It's on my list of finding time to play it. I Expect You to Die 2 was fun, but I definitely don't feel like it should be on the list here for me. And After the Fall, out of all of these, is probably the one that I have spent most time playing.
Okay, so if you were going to... Right, so I'm going to do the same as you. I'm going to go back through the list. But After the Fall is clearly the most amount of time I spent playing a game this year. So does that make it Game of the Year?
No. I mean, I just mean it's the most amount of time I've spent playing a game on this list. It's not the most amount of time I've spent playing a game, because that would definitely be Contractors.
So what do you think, Serge? Well, that's not a new... Yeah. Oh, that you and Fitz and Tassos, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Serge, go through that list and just like pick up the ones that like speak to you.
Okay. I'm trying to
name
find
the
it.
one that you've played.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Okay, After the Fall,
Okay,
the
well,
Last City
I'll-
Zenith. Okay, I got it.
I'll do. Okay, go.
So, Veil, no. Onagora, no. Cities, no. Jedi, no. Resident Evil, no. Wanderer, no. Thing I got, no. Moscow 2 I've got, I haven't played. Right. For me, the winner's After the Fall, because it's the only one I've played. Seriously.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I'm an indie wanker, sorry.
You got to remember that Indie's channel is built around playing indie games, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going to start from the top. Veil VR, competitive, not my thing. Sorry. I'd rather play Contractors. Tales of Oligoro, no. Cities, I didn't play it. Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, wouldn't shit on it. Sorry. Just... Right, okay. Resident Evil 4, another reboot of Resident Evil 4. Great game, but another reboot. Wanderer, I didn't play it. That's the one I'm really annoyed about. Because I think that could have been really good. I didn't play it. Finger Gun, didn't play it. Garden of the Sea, didn't play it. Zenith played quite a lot. I Expect You to Die, didn't play it. After the Fall, played a lot of After the Fall. If it was just on time played, it would be After the Fall. But it has to be... It has to be Moss Book 2. Sorry. I know you weren't expecting that, were you?
No, that's fine.
Oh, I loved that game. I streamed it.
Yeah.
I played it. I played it through. Then I streamed it. And then I streamed it again because I got the PC VR version. I love Moss Book 2. I just love Quill. I've got my little Quill.
I think Shuey should give up his quill after not making Mossbook 2.
No, absolutely not. Like, I love Quill.
Fuck that. This is never ever getting sold.
Hey.
This is going to be given to my grandchildren, even though I don't have kids.
Well, I did say I was going to kill Quill, so keep it away from me. As a developer's heard.
No, I multi co-op After the Fall wins, absolutely wins, because I spent so much time playing that game. Lone Echo 2, I love that game. I absolutely loved Lone Echo 2, but it did have problems. No, sorry, for me it's Moss Book 2. It's just a 4 to 5 hours of just pure joy. There's nothing about this game that frustrated me. It's just...
I mean, I do have it. I just haven't played. I only played the first one. I was going to say, Wanderer is on Viveport, so you can do like a 14-day free trial of that as well, guys. If you're watching, you can play Wanderer on that.
Okay, I'm just catching up on my chat. Sorry.
Okay, Mo Beast wants your little quill.
You can't have my little quill. Right, so moving on.
I don't think we ought to carry on with some of these. So the next thing is VR Experience of the Year. I don't care about anything that they've put in here. VR Film of the Year. I don't particularly care about VR films as they stand. I like some things, but not really. VR Marketing of the Year. Who gives a fuck?
Shall we?
We should do the award, shouldn't we? The honest VR awards.
The Honest VR Awards.
That
was shit. So there's two more things we'd like to talk about, but one of them is quite important, and that is that the podcast is in the new year. The podcast is moving. So
it's moving to the US.
It's moving to the US.
We've been sponsored by Oculus, and they're paying for our studios and everything.
And Pico.
We've been sponsored by a company that no longer exists.
Oh shit! Okay, Mindex.
Right. In all serious, guys, right? So, basically, this came from a conversation we had after the last podcast, because it went batshit crazy. So what happens is that if we give keys away, it all lands on my head, and I'm probably the worst person to be an organizer. So we got $100 donations in the last podcast. It went absolutely crazy, and we made a few promises that we unfortunately couldn't keep, but we have talked to people involved, and they know that they are going to be given these keys and gift cards that we promised. So after that, as you spoke about today, we have a long conversation after the podcast to see how we can improve things. So our conversation about the podcast going forward was that we are going to launch a new channel for the Virtually Rek't podcast. So I'm going to hand over to my good man in chief, Shuey, because he is the organizer amongst us, because obviously me and Mindy just have
Mindy.
like sort of
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. We just have short-term dementia, so he's the only person that actually remembers anything.
Yeah.
So we're going to hand over to Shuey, who is going to explain what is the future of the Virtually Rek't podcast.
So the future of the Virtually Rek't podcast is that this was the thing from the very beginning, when even before Indy joined us, and me and Mac were talking about it to begin with. One of the things that I always envisioned was that the Virtually Rek't podcast was actually going to go very similar to the F Reality podcast.
We've got our first subscriber.
Do we?
Parasite said he's going to subscribe. Thank you, Parasite.
Oh, cheers, buddy. Appreciated. So yeah, even if in the new year we don't have 1,000 subs so that we can monetize and get super chats and things, we'll find other ways of doing it so that if you guys want to donate, you can, whether that be through a Patreon system or whether it through buy me a coffee system. It doesn't matter. Whatever people are happy to do. Obviously, if we can do it through YouTube, it makes things easier for you guys. It makes things easier for us guys. And we definitely want to do this because we want to amalgamate this, and not necessarily we want to be our channels to be a part of this, but we want it to be its own ecosystem. So Surge is actually in talks with somebody about getting us some letterhead stuff so that it's all going to look nice and professional. We still need to organize how the actual podcast is going to look, because we don't want it to look like my stuff. We don't want it to look like Surge's stuff. We don't want it to look like Mac's stuff. We want it to look like the Virtually Rek't stuff. We want it to be its own little brand. And like eventually, you know, if things go well, maybe we can start doing some like t-shirts and merch and stuff. But we need to get there first, and hopefully you guys are going to stick with us, and we'll obviously advertise on all of our channels when the Virtually Rek't podcast is going to go live, but it will eventually be on a own dedicated channel, and it will just be called, I assume, the Virtually Rek't podcast, or something to that extent.
Yeah. Yes. So, hopefully you can meet this week to get the kind of the gist of the graphics we're going to do with the guys doing it. And the other thing was the channel is up and running, but it's just the channel. I'll put it in the link in my video, so you can subscribe now. Have you guys linked it, or do you want me to drop it in the?
I'll drop it.
If you can drop it in the chat, mate, and then I'll copy it over.
Yeah. So everyone...
this is early days. This is early days, mind.
Yeah. So like we haven't got the graphics. We haven't got anything yet, but it's just the channels there. We've done a Discord and other bits and pieces, but we just want to get the graphics done and then start pushing it to people, just so you guys can jump aboard. Let me put that in. I'll stick that in the chat as
Yeah,
well.
no, butter something. We can obviously do an OnlyFans. We can do an OnlyFans podcast.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No. We'll get banned. I don't want to see that.
Oh no, I missed it. What did I miss?
No,
by
don't do it.
nipple.
Jesus
Oh, by
Christ, don't
nipple.
do it again. Fucking hell.
Did Max show his pepperoni again? Is that
The
what this is?
reason we did this, so like I'm going to speak from the heart here. So I've known Serge for about 3 years now. We started playing Population 1 and we just bonded. I met you one day randomly, didn't I? In a Population 1 lobby. And we got on really well. And then like as your YouTube channel grows, you get a lot of requests for not amalgamations. What am I talking about? Collaborations. Dave Duggan. We're going to talk about Dave Duggan. We're not going to talk about Dave Duggan.
No, we're not going to talk about Dave Duggan.
Okay. So we played a couple of games of Population 1 and we got friends and I can't remember who said about the collaboration. I think it was me or you. I can't remember. So I said, well, we'd do a chat on Discord. And I mean, Shuey knew this was an interview because you admitted afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an interview because you get invitations to do collaborations, but if there's no spark, then there's no point in doing it. So I already knew that me and Indy had that thing. So we ended up talking for like 2.5, 3 hours or something.
Yeah, and then we were both like, shit, we need to go.
Yeah, we need to go. But, you know, I said to you afterwards, well, I think you passed the interview stage. And you were like, yeah, I think we did. And we were like, well, we'll do the podcast. I mean, Shuey, like, completely out of my hands, Shuey came up with the Virtually Rek't podcast thing. He was the motivator behind it. I was just the guy who turned up with the bottle of wine and was like, hey, let's go for it. After a couple of episodes, we invited Indy in because obviously, why not? Because, well, you were surgical at the time, weren't you?
No, I was going to go on. I was, yes. Yeah, so I was going to say, no, you go on, carry on.
No, that was my twin brother.
Not Nindy, Indy.
Yeah. Or Mindy.
Sorry,
was it Mindy? Nindy? Which one was it?
Mindy. Mindex.
Yeah.
Mindex. So it was like to me, it was like it was just wonderful because I'm like, all that happens is that every 2 weeks I get together with my two friends and we talk about VR, and it's a magical thing. I get super hyped about it. My wife knows this because after the podcast is finished, I can't sleep because I'm like,
no, I can't.
Going. Yeah,
we'll chat after this for like half an hour, and then I'll probably still need to go and play some In Death Unchained to try and wind down.
Yeah. It's absolutely wonderful. So everybody that's in chat, whether you're in Indy's chat, whether you're in Poweron's chat, whether you're in my chat, what we want to do is like to pull the whole community together because like Indy has a massive community, Poweron has a massive community, I have a massive community. So we want to pull all those communities together into the Virtually Rek't podcast so that you all become part of the Rekin Krew. Obviously we're going to have a Discord and we're going to do all this sort of stuff, and it's going to be it's just trying to pull it all together so that it's not like you watching.
It's not ours, it's not theirs, it's everyone's.
It's everybody's. Yeah, it's the community. So everything belongs to the community. So any donations we get, they go straight back to the community. Any game keys we get, they go straight back to the community. And that to me was like the one thing that I really wanted to do. And it actually took a conversation with Poweron that actually made me think, because we had some donations, we had some game keys given, and he was like, what are you going to do with those? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, they're not mine. They're not mine. They belong to us.
Podcast, yeah.
Yeah, they belong to the podcast. They belong to everybody that's watching. They belong to everybody that's commenting. And they belong to all three of us. And that was like, it actually took me a while. I actually had to sit down and think, oh, fuck, we've done something here, which is pretty incredible. We've got this community. And it's incredible that we've done this. I mean, it's like this is not even our first year, really, is it? We haven't been going for a year yet. We're
I
nearly
mean, we probably had
weeks.
the first conversation about the podcast about this time last year. So like the podcast was still in like the have a chat and see where things go stages.
And now look at it. It's massive. So we're gonna pull it all together. There might be a bit of
There'll
stuff.
be some snags and getting shit ready. It'll be basically like January this year again.
So we've probably got season 125 in a couple of weeks,
yes.
and that's it. We might take a break for a bit because we need to sort out the shift, because we are going to literally move to the Virtual Reality Podcast, and that's it. We're not going to do this on our own channels from now. Episode
25 will be aired on our own channel still, and then episode 1 of season 2 will be on its own dedicated channel.
Can we have a goodbye party for the next episode? Just get absolutely wanked more than normal.
Well, are you gonna
drink then? Because
something then.
I will come in, like I will just bring a bottle of rum, and just
Can you see that?
see how much I can get through in 2 hours.
Right, so
Is that medical alcohol?
Yeah. That's the first thing I could find of alcohol in it. That'll do.
right, so we are going to do the Virtually Rek't Podcast Christmas special where we get wankered.
Oh,
and you have to join in, Sergi, okay?
Fucking hell. Are you sure you want to lose that many subscribers in one hit? Because I'll...
Hey, if they don't like it, they shouldn't be here. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, we'll think of a drinking game. Chat, come up, help us out. Help us find a drinking game.
A chat drinking game.
That's so. I tell you what, right? I'll say this here and now. For every donation / any one of us that gets a subscriber, any super chats, any subscribers, or not subscribers, memberships to the channel, I will do a shot live on air for that night.
God, that could go downhill quite.
It doesn't matter if it's $1. It doesn't matter if it's $10. I'll do a shot no matter what.
You do realise I haven't really drank for a long time.
Cheap out and just do the dollars. Just do the dollars and watch us go down.
$1
Yeah.
shots.
What should we just vomit for the last hour of the fucking podcast? Like, if that's what you're into.
Oh my God. So what are we going to call it? The Virtually Rek't Podcast?
No, we'll call it the Literally Rek't. We'll call it the Literally Rek't Podcast for that one.
2022, the final podcast on our channels, and then we're moving to the new channel, which is going to be awesome.
So yeah, that could be a thing. We could get wankered and then go and play Among Us VR afterwards.
Oh, that would be a thing, because I'm really shit at that game anyway. So when I'm pissed, I'll be even worse. Right, okay. So,
I hate everyone in my chat.
Date.
The date today's the 5th,
it'll be the
so
19th.
that will be on the 19th. Yeah.
19th. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. 19th. We're going to do the final Virtually Rek't podcast on our channels. And then we're going to get the channel. We're going to do the challenges. So we're going to get pissed. And then we're going to play Among Us with our subs.
Yeah, works for me. Cool. Right. Cool. So, last subject then. You said you had one more subject.
Pimax. Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, so onto some real VR tech for the last bit.
Yep.
So we had the Crystal and we had the Portal.
Fuck.
So bear in mind, these have both been released as, or not released. Sorry, they're both on pre-order at the moment before their previous offering has even been released.
Yes,
has even been sent out.
Yes.
They did a massive presentation about VR 3.0.
Yeah.
And the Portal was a big part of that. Like, they were just like, this is a device that basically does everything, and this will give you all the things that you wanted. It will give you a what do you call it? A field of view mode, or it will give you a movie mode, or it will allow you hand it as a Nintendo Switch, or it will allow the controllers to be slotted into 3D printed guns, so that you get that really feel real kind of weapons and things. Like, it will do everything, and as it turns out, it basically does nothing.
Yeah. So if you've watched Sadly It's Bradley, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, he basically destroys the portal because he said he had to hold it on his head, and when he moved, he had the motion blur thing because there's some sort of technical issue where they don't. There's some sort of technical issue with the LED panel, and they haven't implemented it. So basically, it doesn't work.
Apparently, hang on, they did reply to that. I didn't see what their reply was when he was actually at. So what Mac's talking about is that for VR, in order to prevent motion blur, because why the fuck do we want motion blur? It just makes you feel sick. You want it to be nice and crisp. But interestingly, in order to be nice and crisp, what you don't just need really high frames. You need the backlight to actually only show you a certain amount of those frames by reducing by essentially dimming itself for a certain amount of that frame.
Yeah, backlight dimming. I think yes, it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way what that does is essentially just crisps everything up for us, so that as we look around, it will be just like we're looking around in real life. Like it's not gonna, like, when you turn your head, you don't, unless you're looking at like a really bright light or some sort of cathode or something, you don't see like a trail. And what he was seeing in that headset was a trail, the motion blurring, and that's just going to make you sick, and it's going to take you out of the immersion of VR. Who the hell wants that? The whole reason for VR is that we want immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Googly Games did say earlier it's called pixel stepping.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
pixel stepping. Yeah.
And here's a technical term for it. Yeah. So I don't have a Pimax, but I love the company because they're just like, we're doing this. And it's like a crazy journey, almost as if the guy in charge is like. Has ADHD and can't concentrate on one thing at a time. Oh, Parasite!
Cheers, Parasite. Appreciate it, man.
Mate. That's
Thank
going
you,
straight back to the
Parasite.
community, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Buddy. Yeah.
Why aren't they concentrating on the Crystal? Why aren't they concentrating on the 12K headset that they're going to do, the ultra wide field of view thing? So, also going back to Bradley, he actually tried the Crystal and he said the screens were unbelievable, really good, absolutely amazing. But they only let him play Sims, sim racing, like a sim racing game with like Microsoft Flight Simulator. They didn't let him play the standalone. And when they did let him play the standalone, did you see the video he did on Twitter?
No, I missed that one.
It was using WMR tracking, and it was crap. Because apparently the XR2 chip has tracking built in, but it's rubbish. So all the companies that use the XR2 chip use their own solutions, and Pimax haven't. So there's a video on Twitter. If you follow Sadly It's Bradley, he's put the video on of him trying to do one of the light puzzles in Half-Life Alyx, and all you can see is his hand doing this, and he can't grab the light and he can't control it.
So Paul Andrew Manton has just said, I have a Pimax 5K XR. The Pimax community forum said tape the joints with electrician's tape as soon as you get it to stop it getting random cracks in the casing. Like, can you imagine if the Quest 2 was launched and that was a genuine fix that the community were suggesting?
But the thing I love about the Pimax community is they're so dedicated to Pimax.
Yeah,
that
they're the Pimaxians, aren't they?
They're Pimaxians, and I absolutely love that, and I love the fact that that Pimax completely supports their community. That it's an amazing thing that they're doing, and it's one of the things we talked about when we went down to Pico. Said you need to support your community, like ignore everybody else. You know, Oh, Walking Dead. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you, man.
I so appreciate it. Indie Fan
Cheers,
Duty
buddy.
next stream.
No, I've sacrificed my liver for the good of the podcast. I'm not going to force anybody else to do it. I'm not that guy. If my wife's going to regret it. Did you hear what I've said that I'm doing next podcast here? So every time there's a donation or a new membership, I'm taking a shot for the Christmas special. Yeah, she's not looking happy.
Yeah, I know. So this is like, so Indy wasn't there, but me and Poweron were. We went down to Pico, and we basically said, community. Modders, get them involved. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. If VR Cover are going to make a VR cover, get them on board and just like ship the Pico 4 with the VR cover included. Ship the Pico 4 with virtual desktop as like a freebie, because that's the way to do wireless gaming. VR Cover make the best. Oh, Parasite. Thanks, mate.
Paradise Decay's showing up as well. How you doing, mate?
Hey, Paradise.
Sorry, go on.
Hey, PD.
Parasite's just made a donation as well. So yeah, get the community involved, and that's what I love about Pimax is that the community is loyal and they are super hyped about what Pimax are doing. And apparently, what happens is Pimax release something and then they fix it as it goes on, and then you get a really like the 8K that released. The first ones were really quite terrible, but the new ones are really good. So with the Crystal, it's a great machine, but it just has problems. So they need to concentrate on one thing at a time. So do the Pimax Crystal, forget about the 12K, forget about the Portal, and just do that right. Get it right, and then move on to the 12K, or then move on to the Portal, or whatever you're going to do. I think they're trying to be too many things at once, and they're quite a small company, because in my chat I know that people have ordered Pimaxes, the Pimax Crystal, and they're like, "Oh, I'm like 420 on the list." Okay, then that means they're only going to sell 420. Cheers, mate. Oh wow!
Cheers, Peter G. Appreciate it, man.
Cheers,
Purified. Hey, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But yeah, guys, save it. These all of these donations, they could be getting me even more drunk next podcast. So save your donations for the next podcast.
I'm going to open a separate account and just be donating non-stop to see you get wasted.
Son of a bitch! Like Whittle's already said, he's going to donate a penny at a time. I'm capping it minimum $1.
How much?
Minimum $1, because I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to donate less than $1 for the super chats anyway.
So all of these donations will go back to the community as soon as we get established. So what we'll do is next year, when we start the Virtually Rek't Podcast YouTube channel, we will take all of these donations, and the first podcast we will give away probably hundreds of dollars worth of Steam VR gift cards, Quest gift cards, and then we'll have a load of game keys to give away. It'll be absolutely awesome. So if you've donated, we'll go back to the community, but it might be next year. Thank you very much. I'm blown away.
Sorry.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, shall we put Mac in charge?
I'm gonna be dead. Like I'm gonna still be hanging by the time we get to next year at this rate. I think
we aren't even drinking. Cheers, Walking Dead. Thank you very much. I'll be donating today. Power on. Don't worry. Thank you very much. Buddy.
Yeah, it's going to go well for me, I'm certain.
Happy holidays, fellas. I don't get a chance to tune off, but I always enjoy it when I do. Thanks, Pete G. Parasite. Thanks, here's another one for giving me Moss Book 2. You earned it, mate. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's a really exciting. I'm excited for the Christmas special, and I'm so excited for next year. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, we didn't plan a Christmas special. It just turned into the Virtually Rek't podcast within 30 seconds. We invented it and we made drinking games and everything. There you go.
So we're gonna have to take it in turns, aren't we? Because if everybody keeps,
I tell you what, right? I tell you what I'll do, right? Even if we don't get many donations, I'll do a Centurion while we're doing it as well.
I don't know what that is. Is that like a sex game?
So for the old people in the chat, a Centurion, as weak ass as this sounds, it's surprisingly effective. It's a shot of beer every minute for 100 minutes.
Oh wow! Okay.
So yeah, if we get to a point where we're not getting, we'll play a different game. We'll just watch Shuey do a Centurion while we're doing the podcast.
I think we'll be fine. But yeah, we'll keep that as a backup. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I better make sure I actually practice beforehand.
Yeah, I'm going to say I need to be completely and utterly stone cold sober for a couple of days before we start this. Otherwise,
no, that's the worst thing. Like drinking games are not. They're a sprint, not a marathon. So you need to warm up, Mac.
It's okay, right, all right. So what are we going? Right. So what is going to be the drinking game? Just so we can sort of get it out there before we start.
Well, let's. For starters, it'll be whenever we receive a donation or a membership.
Yeah.
Throughout the stream, that'll be the simplest part of the drinking game. But if we come up with something weird and wonderful during, then I'm happy to listen to ideas.
I tell you what are you doing shots of?
I haven't decided yet.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Whoever makes the donation, they tell you what you have to drink.
I think we should. Yeah.
I'll get some different some bits in. Like there are certain things I won't drink. I'm not drinking vodka. Because it's just not my jam straight. But yeah, rum, possible whiskies, definitely sours. Gotta love a bit of sours.
Oh yeah.
I think yeah.
We should say right. Everybody we should all have the same drink. So they're we'll have 4 drinks which we all have to have on the day.
I was gonna say we should do the Wheel of Names, with our 3 names on there, and make some kind of game with that. Where every time someone donates, he spins.
I like that.
Whoever it lands on's got to do a shot.
Okay, the Christmas special is going to turn out to be quite devastating, apparently, for my liver.
We need like a massive a shutdown button where it just
season 2 will just be 2 of us because one of us is dead.
Mac isn't here because he's in hospital having a liver transplant. Oh my god, it's gone crazy again. It always does. It goes crazy at the end.
Is that everything, guys? We've covered everything, right?
I think we are done. It is 5 to 10. We've been on the air for 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Everything on my list is crossed off.
So yeah, I think that is our Virtually Rek't Season 1, Episode 24.
Right,
Yeah.
so we have the Christmas special, which is going to be on the...
Oh, Peter G, congratulations, man. Have an absolutely fantastic time. We're not... but yeah, congrats on getting married, dude.
Okay. Congratulations, Peter G.
Congrats,
Thank you very much for your donation. So it's going to be on the... it's going to be on the 19th of December, just before Christmas. Then we're probably going to take a break while we get things sorted. So it'll be in the new year. So anyway, next podcast is going to be the drinking game, which we're going to sort out via our Discord channels, so everybody can get involved, make suggestions. We're all going to get the same drinks, so that we all...
I'm going to need a fucking catheter for this podcast.
Exactly. And then we're going to spin the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to have me, Serge, and Shuey on the wheel. And we're going to spin the wheel. And then we're going to take suggestions from... if you donate, you can make a suggestion. And then all the money goes back into the community when the Virtually Rek't podcast launches in the new year. So we're going to have a lot of money to give away, a lot of keys. It's going to be amazing. I'm so looking forward to it. Wow.
Oh, right. Max, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, MacInVR. You can find me on Discord, MacInVR, hashtag 0729. You can find me on YouTube at MacInVR. And you can also find me on Facebook, but I don't really do Facebook so much. So where can I find you, Serge?
You can find me on Twitter, indie__VR. Someone else took IndieVR and someone else took indie_VR. So I'm trying to hunt them down. And I have a Discord server. It's all linked below. And I'm on TikTok as well. It's all linked in my description, guys. Yeah.
Cool.
Shall we?
Right. Well,
Where can we
you
find
guys can find me primarily on YouTube at Power on VR, on TikTok at Power on VR, on Instagram Power on VR, like basically everything at Power on VR or some derivative of. It's all linked on the YouTube. We've all got our own Discords, guys, and we will be opening a Discord for the podcast. It's in its own right soon. So yeah, hopefully, come find us on all of those. But
Okay, and when we get to 1,000 subscribers as well, we'll be opening up channel membership on the Virtually Rek't podcast as well.
Yeah.
yes, yep, yeah. Right, it's been amazing, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. It's been great, guys.
Thank you. It's been amazing as per usual.
Right, so let's do this on the actual count of 3, boys. We'll actually
One.
end the stream. We won't have this awkward silence where some of us are still on air. Thank you, guys. It's been wonderful.
Cheers, guys.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful.
Thanks for the
3,
donations.
2, 1, and we're out.